Hey there, fellow Oregon landlords and property managers. Mr. Portland Landlord here, your friendly neighborhood voice from the Portland metro trenches. If you've ever gotten that 2 a.m. text from a tenant saying, "My roommate's driving me crazy, and now there's a mysterious new person sleeping on the couch," you know exactly why this topic keeps popping up on our Paroa helpline like clockwork. Spring 2026 is prime move-in season, leases are turning over, and roommate drama is about to hit its annual peak. Add in the brand new HB 3522 tool that just went live January 1st, and we've got ourselves a perfect storm of actionable stuff you can use right now to protect your property, your sanity, and the quiet enjoyment of your good tenants. Look, I get it. Most of us got into this business to collect rent, not referee reality TV level roommate fights or chase unauthorized squatters. But here's the good news. With solid lease language, quick documentation, and the right notices, you can head off 90% of these headaches before they cost you turnover dollars or insurance claims. And now that HB 3522 gives us that speedy 24-hour notice plus Fed pathway for unauthorized occupants, we're not stuck waiting weeks anymore. Let's dive in with some real talk strategies pulled straight from the trenches. And yes, a couple of those classic what went wrong stories that'll make you chuckle or cringe while you learn. First, let's get clear on the statewide rules under ORS Chapter 90. Oregon law doesn't micromanage subleasing the way some states do, but your rental agreement is king. You can absolutely prohibit subleasing or require your written approval before any tenant hands over keys to a third party. The original tenant stays fully on the hook for rent, damages, and every other obligation. Subtenants don't magically get tenant rights unless you approve them in writing. Same goes for assignments. If your lease is silent on the issue, tenants technically could sublet. But why leave that door open? Our standard Paroa landlord forms have crystal clear language right in the fine print. No subleasing or assignment without landlord's prior written consent. Use it. And remember, if you start accepting rent checks from someone who isn't named on the lease, you've just created a brand new tenant relationship, knowingly or not. Document everything and don't let knowingly accept rent bite you. Roommate disputes are a whole different beast, because you've usually got multiple people on the same lease who all have equal rights to the unit. The golden rule? Involve every co-tenant in the process. If one roommate is blasting music at midnight and trashing the place, you can't just evict the loud one and leave the quiet ones hanging. Oregon law treats them as one household for most purposes. Start with a written violation notice. Our 14-day cure or quit form works great here. Give specifics. Excessive noise violating ORS 90.325 and paragraph X of the rental agreement. If they fix it, fantastic. If the same nonsense repeats within 6 months, you can jump to a 10-day no-cure termination. And if the situation is truly toxic, think threats or safety issues, loop in all co-tenants and consider mediation through a local service before it escalates to court. Real example from the helpline last year. Tenant A complained that tenant B's friend was now living there full-time, eating their food, and running up the electric bill. We advised documenting the extra vehicle, extra toothbrushes, and the bedroom that suddenly had a bed in it. Served a violation notice to the whole household. They cured it by moving the friend out in 12 days. No drama, no turnover. Prevention wins. Speaking of new tools, let's talk HB 3522, the 2026 game changer for unauthorized occupants and squatters. Effective January 1st, landlords or owners can now serve a simple 24-hour written notice telling the person to vacate. No need to prove they're a squatter in the old sense. If they're not on the rental agreement and you didn't knowingly accept rent from them, they're out. After 24 hours, you file a standard forcible entry and detainer action in county court. Just like a regular tenant eviction, but way faster. Use the updated ORHA form M022. 24-hour notice of termination for unauthorized occupant. You can even name them John and/or Jane Doe and all others, if you don't know their real names yet. Court will sort it out at the hearing. One landlord I chatted with in February used it after a tenant moved out, but left their cousin behind, who then painted half the living room midnight blue. Knock and Talk confirmed it. 24-hour notice served, Fed filed, property back in 6 days flat. Nothing says, "Welcome to landlord life," like explaining to a judge why your walls are now the color of a goth nightclub. And now a couple shameless plugs. If you're tired of chasing these issues solo, Northwest Rental Property Management handles full-service management and fast-track eviction processing for Portland Metro and Central Oregon owners. Just like the HB 3522 cases we're seeing spike, we take the paperwork off your plate so you can focus on scaling your portfolio instead of playing referee. And if you want the actual PROA landlord forms, helpline access, and monthly classes that keep you ahead of these exact headaches, join www.proa.org today. Our members get discounted access to every updated 2026 form and template you'll need, plus a community that's seen it all. All right, let's jump back into those prevention strategies before we wrap this up. Portland Metro has its own flavor of pain points. Multnomah County, and especially the city of Portland, enforces occupancy standards more aggressively than Washington or Clackamas. Think 2 people per bedroom plus 1 extra. That's the reasonable rule of thumb most courts accept under ORS 90. If you're pushing 3 per bedroom, you're inviting code violation complaints from neighbors or inspectors. I've seen properties tagged for over-occupancy that triggered habitability claims and relocation costs. Suburbs are generally more chill, but document your policy anyway. Tie it into your lease. Maximum occupancy is X persons as stated on the application. Fair housing note here. If a tenant requests a roommate because of a disability or family status, that's a reasonable accommodation request under federal and state law. You evaluate it case by case and document your interactive process. Deny only if it creates an undue burden or fundamental alteration. Best practice lease addendums are your secret weapon. Pull the PROA landlord forms for a temporary occupant agreement and a guest registration form. Keep copies, photos, and neighbor statements. One helpline caller last summer let a guest stay 3 months without notice. Boom, legal waiver under ORS 90. The new person became a de facto tenant. Documentation would have saved them thousands. Here's a quick prevention checklist you can copy into your spring 2026 lease audits. Screen every adult who will live there, full background, even if they're just a roommate. State exact occupancy limits and guest policy. No more than 7 consecutive days without approval. Require written consent for any sublease or long-term guest. Use PROA landlord forms for temporary occupant or guest registration. Inspect at move-in and document condition photos. Train your maintenance crew to flag extra vehicles or furniture during visits. Never accept rent from anyone not named on the lease without a paper trail. Decision time. Here's a simple text flowchart you can keep handy. Is it a sublease request? Require written approval plus full screening? Yes, approve or deny an addendum. No, violation notice to all co-tenants. Unauthorized occupant spotted? Knock and talk plus 24-hour notice under HB 3522, then fed if needed. Roommate fight? Written notice to entire household, then mediation or termination if safety issue. So, have you ever had a roommate dispute or unauthorized occupant pop up in one of your rentals? Drop your stories or questions in the comments below. I read every one, and it helps us all learn. Hey, if you're a Portland area landlord, come join the community over at www.proa.org. We've got education, forms, networking, and we fight for your rights at the legislature. And for owners in the Portland Metro or Central Oregon looking for hassle-free management, check out the pros at www.nwrpm.com.